Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're all well. Today's a pretty simple sketch day. I got a couple of little ratchets to draw, and then we move on to page 2. So the ratchets that I am drawing are these little guys in between the panels. So they don't need to be complicated, they just need to work. But to do that, I am actually going to get rid of all of the panels. I trust that they will stay. So, let's get nice and close. So weird, like these tiny little ratchets. Super cute, and they can be like low detail too. But I do think they're kind of cool, and it's like a cool little way of displaying movement. With a couple of tiny ratchets. This isn't what I'm going for at all anyway. Something about it doesn't seem right. My eraser is also not the right one. Kind of been sketching all day, so I should have a good enough warm up prepped for this. Or I should feel warmed up enough, surely. If I've been drawing all day. But that remains to be seen. Another warm day. Not too warm though, it was about 26, so that was actually a pretty good day today. Here in Adelaide. Not too sunny. Well, it was like nice and sunny, but not too hot. That's the word I'm looking for. Just put his whole head, and then I'll add the goggles in later. Yeah, that works. They said it doesn't need to be complicated. Here I am making it complicated. As is my want. His nose is just not the right shape as well. Just slightly off. It's a little bit too pointy. A bit too much like my rat nose. Should also probably be higher. Let's be honest. That's too high. He looks like a who. That's exactly the same. That just doesn't look right. Figure it out. I'll figure it out. That looks wrong. It's a little goblin jawline. Where the hell do I set that for this? Dunno. Figure it out. That's... Again, I'm making it too complicated. It really doesn't need to be this complicated. My default is to just go detail, like detail oriented. And I really don't need to for something like this. Could go super simple. Probably need a smaller brush too, really. Realistically speaking. Is that okay? No. Yes, but no. Not this specific thing I'm working on. But everything else is fine. And that's good enough for a hand. I don't need to draw all the individual fingers. Again, some details on something this size, something this big, does not make sense. I don't need to be putting painstaking effort into some of this. I'm gonna want to, but I don't need to. It's not a need. It's a, yeah, sure, why not? It's only my time that I'm putting into it, so that's fine. It's not even really about time. It's about perfectionism. My desire to do things, do too much. Yeah. She could probably get away with that as a bit of a shortcut. This side is hammer. Hammer side. So we'll just put the hammer in, because that will define the length of the sheath, really, for the dagger. There we go. There we go. That's super cute. Little dumb dumpling legs. And like that. And we have depth. Or, at the very least, a guide for depth. Sweet. That doesn't look right. It's not the right shape or anything. Kind of probably needs to go up and over. But he does have a backpack. Do not forget, Grey Mass, he has a backpack. So, here's a second part to his cape, or his cloak, which comes down like that. Get it right, there we go. He doesn't have a back currently. His legs are cute, but just don't kind of span far enough just yet. That can be fixed, but I should probably draw the rest of the back in first. And that'll define where the rest of the pants go. Like so. And now give me like 30 or 40 tries to line this up properly. Line this curve up. There we go. Sort of. It's almost there. And it'll do. I can just erase away the bits that don't. Probably doesn't need to curve. It can just be like that. Bent, or not bent, but straightened out, like so. I do really like the little shoes. They're not quite as complicated as the original chapter's design, but they're really, really sweet. Yeah, and I just like them. I just like the way they look. They're just cute little shoes. They're easy for me to draw, but like, I don't think anyone who knows me thinks I would care about that. Easier or harder to draw, it doesn't matter. But they are cute, so. If they're cute and they make it easier, and they make my process quicker and easier, sweet. That's perfect. And I'm wondering, I should probably do these one at a time. So color work, shadows, and the detailing. Do that all with each of the ratchets. Because some of them are different poses, but I could probably reuse some of them. At least partially. That's not good. Just do my usual curve, there we go. Probably doesn't need these tiny little details. But again, glutton for my own punishment, so can end up drawing them anyway. Because that'll be a nightmare to color in or fill color. I'm sure it'll be fine. They're small enough. I can just single brush stroke over all of them. Cool. There we go. Yeah. Just flatten his forehead out just a little bit because it's a little bit too curved. Yeah, am I forgetting anything? Am I forgetting anything? What does Ratchet usually have? This stuff. That's about it. I can't see any anything missing. So just quickly color pick some stuff. These won't have any soft shadows, purely because I think that's probably unnecessary for illustrations of this size. Like, I'm sure they would look good, you know, but I just don't think it's necessary. Just as a reminder, this guy is this big on the whole page. He's that big on the whole page. So we don't need to go into excessive details for these. I can honestly probably fill a lot of mistakes and detailings within the shadow layer, and it'll be pretty much like nigh unnoticeable. This is the highest volume of color, which is just the brown of armor and things like that. His backpack is that color. This part of his flight helmet is that color. Is that it? Yes. Let's just fill it in and see. That looks like it's correct. It's a little bit about there. Yeah, it's pretty much correct. Pretty much on the money. I can already see things I'm going to need to fill in, but that's, yeah, I expected as much. It's cute. This is a cute little thing. I'm glad I did this. So I got this idea from another comic illustrator who was working on their comic. I think that their name is Groove, and they draw adorable little goblins as well, but their comic specifically, like this comic that I got this idea from, isn't from anything with goblins in it, or anything that they've done with goblins in it. But they drew this like sped up walking sequence where the character was walking down the stairs in these like little versions of the character, and I was like just blown away with how good it looked. I was just like, oh, that's great, that's a really good idea. So I, as an artist, poached it. Well, not poached it, but I was inspired by it, because I'm not doing the same thing they're doing. I'm doing a different, like an a unique version of it for my own characters, one that fits with them. Let's go silver next. Yeah, there's definitely plenty I'm going to need to fill in. Because even though it's little, I don't want the little, like, white spots. I hate that. I hate the little white spots, they're horrible. And they look horrible. It plagues my work, because I use this magic wand tool, which is great. It's very useful, but it's not 100% accurate, which is disappointing. And it may cut down my coloring in late time, but it's you know, by no means perfect. I need purple. Does Ratchet show his hammer at any point in this page? Let's see. Not hold. Just have it visible. Yes. Sweet. Perfecto. Find Tiny Ratchet again. Hello, little guy. There we go. Perfect. And then, to kind of make things easy on myself, just gonna select everything. All of Little Ratchet. And then fill in the colors. Fill in these little spots. Is this an easy way to do it? We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. This might be just as much of a pain in the ass as the alternatives. But we'll see. Just gotta make sure, like, you can see there are little parts that are not filled in, and yes, that is intentional because we will go back over it with the brush, but I'm just purely checking for the big spots and the big openings first, because those can be filled in by the magic wand. Yadda-da-da-da. Okay. Oh, Jesus. That was a mistake. That looks to be everything. Cool. Now to begin filling in colour. The old school way. The OG way. Oh, Jesus. It stops me from painting outside the lines, but won't stop me from painting other colors that are within the lines. So I need to be careful on that front. Makes my life slightly easier, but not impossible to make a mistake. So can't get overconfident. And then it'll be a whole nother ball game when I return the panels back and then it shows all the areas that I missed. That's always a heartbreaking process when you see, oh yeah, I've missed these like tiny little spots, and now there's like a little dark spot near Ratchet's head or whatever. Ratchet now has canonically a mole on his face. And it's not canon, he doesn't have a mole on his face, he's blemish free. Actually, that's not true. He's got little freckles. Little goblin freckles. So he's not blemish free. And he's got those little things above his eyelids, but I don't have a name for them. His eye thingies? I don't know. That's not really a name for anything, is it? Eye thingies. And I don't need it anymore because everything else will remain within the bounds. So, I can just find what I missed somehow. These little bits that somehow I still missed in my process. Oh well, it's not a foolproof process. If it were, then fantastic. It would be perfect for me, but it's not. So, can only use the best that I kinda have. Alright. Shadow's my favourite bit, for some reason. I don't know why. So that'll be good. Yeah, that's a good shadow. That's a nice shadow. Shadow. Oh, that looks weird. Ah, that's okay, that's tolerable. Yeah, that looks like Ratchet. I mean, they all look like Ratchet. I don't know why I'm saying that. If any artists can like sympathize with me where you draw like a character 100 times and they don't look exactly the same every single time, you're just like, who are you? You're not my son. You're not my baby boy. Who's this guy? I get that feeling all the time, even though I don't think there's been many panels without Ratchet in it. So I've drawn him so many times. And yet, to this day, I still can't draw him exactly right every single time. Well, exactly the same every single time. One day. That's my goal. One day. To be able to just draw Ratchet from any angle. And have him look exactly the same. Any angle, any expression, he always looks consistent. Fill the inner line there. Does that look right? No, that looks like shite. There we go. Better. Curve that just a little bit. Just a little bit of curve. Does that look right? No. Maybe just get rid of the side bit. Yeah, that's okay. There's a little bit of that, but it's fine. It's a tolerable amount. So, nope. There we go. Not okay with how that one looked. Just want a little bit of shadow there. Now, we want that a bit covered. I'm just gonna, oh no, I can't just wrap it. I can't just wrap his arm like that. It'll look weird. I want something that's just the right kind of, like, shadow works in much the same way highlights do. So you want it to flow with the character design. Ugh. I say as I just draw some random shadow thrown in. Not a good idea. Where would shadow be cast, you know? That's the question you kind of got to be asking. So where would this shadow be cast? We don't get to see any sunlight, but based on the comic itself, or the previous panels, it's been pointing downwards for the most part, so you hit like the underside of the chin and things like that. Give him fingers through the shadows. Things that I've forgotten to do or intentionally chose not to do, because that's what you can do with the low resolution versions. Not low resolution, low quality. Add the lines and the shadows and move on. Ah, shit. And it is revealed to me, point I haven't coloured in. Feck. Yeah. That's cute. I do like the movement. It's really cute. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I would just leave it there, but I still got some details that I could pop in. Most importantly being the stripes of his pants, which won't be on any of these panels. It's right here. This panel. Yeah. Do I... Oh. I'll have it do it like that. There we go. And actually, just save. Because I haven't saved in a hot minute. So we go. Oh. I should also just take a quick drink break. Just grab some water. Rehydrate, as it were. It's hot and I don't want to get dehydrated. especially since I'll be exercising tomorrow. So I don't want to, yeah, not drink water. Ah, ow. Bumped my knee into my desk. Because I seem to always, I seem to always do that when I'm drawing, because my drawing stuff is all the way to the right side of my desk. That feels a bit flat. It's better. Kind of feel like this part should actually be shaded, but it looks okay, so I'm gonna kind of let it go, let it be. Let it do its thing. Do I need anything more? Yes. The little details for Ratchet. Those are kind of important. I want to include the little yellow ears. Because they're cute. Nothing more complicated, like no complicated reasoning other than they're just cute. His first eye color. That will fill in. Oh, that's awfully close to... That's fine. Oh, shit. That's not okay. That's fine. Yes, and then we make the yellow darker, get the airbrush. Oh, the airbrush is probably huge. Yep. Thought as much. There we go. And this is a cute little design as well on top of it. Is that what it would look like from top down? Probably look more like that. Make it sharp. Nope. Make it sharper, but not that way sharper. Maybe that way sharper. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that's good. That'll do. It's gonna require very little for this, which is good. Makes this really simple. It's only been about 44 minutes on this one sketch, which is pretty good, like, time-wise. I have a few of these to do. I have about 6 of these to do, including this one. So, that's fairly good time. to shade this part. There we go. Give that a save, and then we move on. I mean, I do want to actually move it all slightly upwards, just so that it looks like he is running across the top of the panel, as opposed to, like, kind of floating midway. And what's cool is I can kind of move him wherever. It could be over here. That's a good spot. Nice and centered. That's really cute. I really like that. There's something so fucking cute about that. Are you not impressed? It's a tiny little Ratchet. Smaller than usual. Like, there's little Ratchet, who we all know and love, and then there's tiny Ratchet. And he's just this tiny little guy. This little bean. It's fantastic. I love that. Next one. The next one would require me, like, really, like, editing the previous one. So I'm just gonna redraw it. Just gonna draw a new one, instead of copying and then painstakingly redrawing bits. It's not worth it to me. So that's where the head is. Go ears first. Ears first? No. Almost. Almost. There we go. And that. I guess I could probably redraw this then, in that case. This is going to take a little bit of altering, because I feel like my draft, the proportions were just a tad off. Just a tad all over the place. As a draft is wont to be. Oh, yes, apply the transformation. And I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm just going to draw the head shape, or the flight helmet shape first, and then I'll come back to the goggles and stuff later. I say as I kind of struggle with the head shape right now. Is that it? Is that it? Or is that it? That's kind of better. I was going to also say, I recently, like yesterday, bought the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild art book, and holy crap, like that's now, it now has like pride of place in my office, because it is such a good reference book. It is so comprehensive. It contains everything. Like visual, like a huge visual diary of everything that exists within that game. Like fruits, the fish, the like insects that you can catch, the monsters, the characters. I mean, of course the characters, but like everything. It's so deeply comprehensive. And they've got like drafts of like what they had planned to make Link look like and things like that. One of the designs is fascinatingly terrible. It was more modern, where he had like a green jacket and a guitar as a weapon, and it was like really weirdly terrible, like so terrible that I thought it was actually like a joke. Like it to see how Legend of Zelda, like Breath of the Wild, turned out, it just doesn't, like, the design just seems so alien to the rest of the game. And I thought that was really funny. And then, yeah, various different designs for characters like Pura and things like that. I love it. It's maybe, like, easily my favorite reference book of the year. It didn't come out this year, but, like, my favorite one that I've gotten this year. And it's only January. But it is one of my at least top 5 favorite art books. Definitely. I love a big chunky art book. And I got a few more, so I picked up a little insect field guide because I thought that would be interesting to add into the comic world, just like a bunch of different varieties of insect. But then I ended up just reading it. I mean, I should have been reading it, of course, but like I ended up just being really fascinated by the many insects that exist within Australia and learning about a species of insect that I didn't even realize existed in Australia called I almost said grasshopper, which would have made me look like an idiot because everybody knows about the grasshopper. But it's a insect called the gum hopper. And they're these tiny little things, and they hop from place to place. And the entomologist who wrote this book is talking about these gum hoppers, and he's like, they're really nice guys. And I'm like, oh, I mean, entomologists seem like very eclectic people, so it wouldn't surprise me that they would use language like that about an insect that essentially just jumps from gum tree to gum tree, essentially. Um, but he's just like, yeah, they're really friendly guys. They'll just like hop onto you and hitch a ride. And I'm just like, okay, I would die for these creatures. Like, I'm ride or die for gum hoppers now. They just seem like the sweetest little weird and wonderful kind of, like, most weird and wonderful kind of thing I've ever heard about. Really. So yeah. And then I also got a book on demons and the depiction of demons over the centuries, because this book doesn't necessarily, like, my comic doesn't necessarily directly reference demons. It does in, like, little parts because it's kind of impossible to avoid with, a tabletop RPG based or inspired series, but I've done my best to kind of avoid demons in this, but I also wanted to have symbology and symbolism, a better word for it, symbolism for demons and things like that, where appropriate. So yeah, those are all the books I've gotten recently, and I'm a big fan of them all. They're all very good. Is his chest piece actually that big? No, it's like his main chest piece is just way too big. Just the wrong size gonna do it like that because he is bending in this panel. So I need to make sure it looks like he's bending. So I've gone for a more diamond shaped pattern for this bottom one in this panel, just specifically because his leg's going to be up here. And I may as well draw that bit now, since I'm here. This is other... Hold on, my brain is doing like the confusion thing. So it'll be fine. It's so this leg is this leg. I'm gonna need to visually articulate that when I get around to it, but that's gonna be a very heavily like shadow dependent thing. I was like, my microphone has just been in my peripheral this entire time, and I only just now kind of realized it was there. It almost felt like there was like just a big dog nose in my face for a moment. I was just like, Jesus, who are you? As I'm explaining stuff, forgetting that I even have a mic here. Nice work, mate. You're supposed to be a professional. Is that good? Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Ratchets like big, goofy pants. They're great. I don't want simple, non-goofy designs. I want all the goof. All the goofy shit. So yes, our protagonist is going to have big, stupid pants with little pirate stripes on it. Because why not? It's just fun. Dumb and fun. Cool. So not drawn his eyes, but that's okay. Same again with this foot, just an alternating foot in terms of the running. There we go. Forgotten his daggers, or his dagger and hammer combo, but that's okay. Because he's been moving, they will have moved slightly too. I don't know what compels me to try and draw the hammer all in one stroke. Like, I couldn't tell you, but anytime I make a mistake, which is often, it's quite common to make just a little mistake, it ends up just I just end up having to erase the entire hammer through a single undo. Because yeah, just keep trying to draw it in one go. Never works out for me. don't think I want to do that. I'll do that in the shadows layer. Because it is easier. That should be fine. It's kind of got a dagger kind of bend to it, like a dagger handle bend to it, which is not intentional, but that's okay. And it's already been an hour. But good progress, that's good. That's positive. Give it just a little bit more. There we go, nice. Once you get to here, it's kind of like you need a bit of an angle. Oh, Jesus. Somehow ended up grabbing the entire line work. That's not good. I go with the eyes maybe just a touch. Just a touch too sharp. And yep, alright. Goggles. Goggles next. That's better, yeah. Just a little bit softer looking, which is good. For this tiny version of Ratchet, it's the way I want to go. Softer, simpler designs. That's a pretty low flying plane. Or a different flying plane. Weird. And is he forgetting? Am I forgetting anything? Do I want a hand? What's the next one? Kind of a more leisurely one. So maybe not. Just that much. Yeah. Again, tiny. So no reason to go too far. Go do too much. Till it be needless. Soul Goblin. Oh, shit. Forgot something. There we go. Back to it. Crisis averted. Sorry guys. New mic, still bumping it. What is this color? Belt. But there's only one. Oh, shoes. Here's boots. There we go. I'm also realizing that I'm forgetting his belt straps on the side, so I'll just fill those in real quick. There we go. There's always so much separation on these tiny little bits. It's because they're small, so it's really hard to differentiate what's intentional color or intentional coloring space and what isn't. That is. Fill it in, see what I've missed. This little space, but I'm gonna fill that in with the brown because I just prefer that. Last thing, this just random purple, random amount of purple, just added to it. Jesus. Almost double tapped on my screen because I still think I'm using Procreate for some reason. The program is great, but it's a slippery slope. Every time I come back to Clip Studio, I think I'm using Procreate. Try to use my Wacom as a touchscreen. Like I'm some sort of idiot. Some sort of dingus. Okay. Color space filled in? Question mark? No suspicion. Seems to be fine. We're good. Good to move on. Just trimming some stuff. Trimming some colors. Yep, cool. I probably need to bring... Oh, Jesus. I was going to say probably need to cut this nose down, but then I realized that it's going to make him look just a little odd, so I might leave it. Or just subtly alter it. It's fine. Just trying to remember, like, if in doubt, aim the shadows downwards, essentially. And that's what I'm thinking for these panels, because I don't have any set, like, direct light direction. So I can kind of improvise, but for the most part it stays quite uniform. That felt a bit messy. Gotta give just a little bit of space for light for this dagger. Also getting carried away because I should be slowly moving down the figure. Instead I'm just bouncing between parts. Because I am very easy to distract with my own work. Or distract from my own work, really. feel like people are gonna pop in every so often, like who are like used to my old streams and or my usual streams and what I do on my streams. And they're gonna be like, wait a second, there's no background. Sparking rumors that Ratchet is just dead in chapter 3. That's the big surprise. It's just that Ratchet has always been dead, and it's just like, what? Why even write the story about it then? It's all a trick. It's all a nasty trick to just introduce a bunch of characters and then kill them off, like Jujutsu Kaisen. Which, from what I've seen from the manga readers and their anger on like Instagram and stuff like that, apparently that's all that Jujutsu Kaisen's become, which is concerning, because I like Jujutsu Kaisen. And like, people who know that the artist and writer behind the anime has a favorite, and his favorite is the bad guy. So it's like people aren't surprised that there are now cases of plot armor, like the clear, visible plot armor on the villain, which feels iffy. Like that feels like bad writing. From what I'm hearing, I'm just like, why would you give your villain plot armor? That just feels like really bad writing. But, I mean, I'll wait to see what happens, but if that is the case, that's deeply disappointing. As a fan of well-written animes. I'm actually going to get rid of the shadows on this leg. I think it doesn't matter. It's not important. It's out in front. It's been conveyed. That's all we need to know. We're golden. She's just gonna fill. Though I will say, it's been really interesting to see an anime have quite like such a chokehold on pop culture, and like I'm meaning like broad pop culture when I'm talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. You know, you see like Usher knows about it. Like that's what I'm basing it off of. But like when my friends went to Japan, they couldn't escape like the Jujutsu. I mean, of course, in Japan, like the Jujutsu Kaisen merch and all that stuff lying around. But even in Australia, it's kind of inescapable to watch the show without it being spoiled in some capacity already, even if you're coming to it completely new. Like, you have to get off social media completely to be unspoiled by this anime, which is like the first time I've ever seen something like that. It's really close to like Game of Thrones levels of like you can't like avoiding spoilers. Like, it's that if you have any kind of online platforms, you just can't escape those spoilers. which in itself is insane. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen's good. I didn't expect it to take off that much. But hey, here we are. People are kind of liking it for now. Or they're enjoying being angry about it, I guess. I don't like that. That's a bad looking thing. Bad looking highlight, that's the word I'm looking for. And just on the top, pippity poppity boo. Again, just very simple highlights because we are not trying to do too much with these. They are tiny little ratchets. They are not. There is no need to do too much. There is kind of a desire to do more, but there's no need. No need. Soul of issue. Let's give it a little bit of highlight. Give it a little bit of light. It's completely unnecessary. Just give him a little bit of light. Alright, need that. Same again. Just cover the entire thing. Soft brush. Airbrush, not soft brush. This is too light. Just make the yellow slightly darker. Almost a mustard yellow. Oh wait, no, it is a mustard yellow. Nice. Yeah, make it a mustard yellow. Then just fill it in. Because it's a nice little mix of colours. So you're gonna need... There we go. Nice. Yeah, that's everything. That is everything. Second one down. Might just add a little bit of colour. Two spaces that I noticed were having little glaring white space issues. The ones that aren't, they're fine. Can live with that. The ones that are only just barely visible, it's fine. I can live with that. Those things I can live with. The ones that are a little more obvious, no. Absolutely can't tolerate. Alright, how's that look? This is so cute. Look at that guy. Look at this little guy. It's just so cute. These like tiny little ratchets. Just tiny little guy. Gonna have to move this one though. He's too close to the other one. They can't be too close to... Oh, shit! Moved everything but the line work. No, don't apply. I would like it to be in the middle, but if it can't be done, it can't be done. And that little ratchet's got some space. It's got some real estate. So we'll see. That's, yeah. I'm really happy with that decision. Like, adding these little ratchets, they're so fucking cute. Like, I can't stand it. Look at how fucking cute they are. They are, oh. Just really happy with them. I am going to move them back though, ever so slightly. To about, yeah, okay, so original position for the first one, and original position for the second one. Yay. So that's 2 down. Got 1 more in this line, and then got 3 more. 3 more left. Is that gonna be... That I could probably get away with. Taking this one, and then Control C, Control V. And then just altering it ever so slightly. So that the only change is that his feet and legs will be different. So I'm okay with that. Just gonna... actually, just all the way down and then erase. Oh, what am I missing? Oh, I can only erase on 1 layer. Hold on. I'm not doing all this. So up to this bit. The rest I will fix by hand. Boop! And his legs are gone. Goodbye. Ratchet's legs. Okay. That'll be right, and then I don't really need these. Actually, what leg was in front in the previous one? Outer leg. Oh yeah, so this works. This fits. This makes sense. Is it? Yeah. I might just... Before I settle on this foot position, I might actually just tilt him back a little bit. Yeah, about that much. Not by a huge amount, not by a huge increment. Just enough. There we go. nice. Very little to fill in. Love to see it. And I just realized that there is some weird color stuff going on here. Very weird. I'm just gonna let that stay. Might be better that way. Yeah. Make it. Yeah, gonna need to make it bigger. Just because then it lines up with the belt loops a little better. Oh, yeah, wow, that was simple. Very simple. Got that done in like 10 minutes. No time. Oh, actually, it's not completely done yet. There we go. Oh, where am I? Ah! Okay, I'm okay. A lot of little white spots, but they're okay. Yeah. Gonna take a sip of water, and then we'll move on to the next set of panels. I might also merge these layers because the copies are their own separate layers now, so I'm just gonna clean up a little bit. Just do a bit of layer cleaning. Oops, shit. Ah, no, I deleted everything. No, just gonna take this really slow. Don't actually want to delete everything. The likelihood of that happening is minimal, but not zero. There we go. Is that correct? No. As I can see, oh yeah, because once they were merged, they stopped being a multiply layer. That's fine. It's not a problem if I can solve it. And we got our sweet little Ratchet. Got everything we could want. Sweet little Ratchet. Yep. What's next? We got a spinning little Ratchet. And then a little jump at the end, which leads into him landing like that in the squat. Perfecto. I need the drafts, but I do not need everything else, because it's just too much faff. Notice one thing I do pretty much straight away is that I'll draw the circle for the head, but then what I kind of draw is just the hairline straight away. Hey, Frosty, how you doing? So just talking about my process, I draw just a round head and then hairline. I don't know if it's the most optimal way of doing it, but it seems to work for me. How are you? Don't know if I asked that. I may have asked it 5 seconds ago. Doesn't matter. When I'm focused, I don't remember something I said 3 seconds ago. Let me stretch my back just a bit too. I've been sitting here like a little prawn for like an hour 40. That's not good. It's sad backwards is das, and das not good. There we go. Doesn't have a face. You don't have a face. It's fine. Won't be drawing his face for a little bit. Just because I just can't be fucked. Honestly. Can't be bothered. I'll draw it eventually. I have to. There you go. He's got a face. Face. He's a ditto. I don't record a time lapse on the comic. I'm wondering if I should. If I did, be a huge time lapse festival. But then also it'd look so janky as well. Just bouncing around constantly, split seconds of me accidentally clicking on another part of the page, flying over there, me working for 3 hours on a tiny little space, and then I zoom out and there's just so many other things to be focusing on. Fantastic content, that. Surely. That'd be my most popular content, without a doubt. I can't look at this little face, he needs to be smiling. Otherwise it's not Ratchet. If you see Art of Ratchet and he's not smiling, that's not Ratchet. Yeah, nice. And originally I did have his arms out all the way, but I'm going to have one in, just like that kind of, you know, the ballet spin. I've been doing my research into dance. Because I feel like Ratchet, like, don't get me wrong, Ratchet's good at a lot of stuff. If I make him good at too many things, he'll come across as a bit of a Mary Sue. But surely if he's been trained in combat, he might be good at dance. He might be good at a little bit of dance. Gonna give him, that's the fingers. I could draw hands, but it's just, I mean, I feel like I demand a certain level of quality. Just a little bit, just a certain, just small amount of quality, just at least some form of quality. There we go. I'm gonna forget to remove the little face. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I did the face. I drew the face, surely. It's fine. There's stuff there. I see it in my peripheral vision. It's fine. In actual fact, I haven't. Just drawn a goofy little thing. I mean, that works. Not immensely well, but it'll do. No, I don't. I keep saying like, oh, I can live with that. And then I just change it immediately. Because no, I was lying. I cannot live with that. I am El Perfectionisto. Can I live with that? Question. For me, specifically, can I live with that? Yes. Maybe? Is that too long for Ratchet's arm? Yes. I'm just going to erase a bit of it. Because my general rule about Ratchet's, like, body is that for movement, when I, like, anatomy-wise, when I draw his legs, I don't draw it as if I'm gonna draw him with kneecaps. Or, like, he doesn't have knee joints when I start drawing him. And then if I need him to bend his knees, then I will add a knee joint or a knee bend where you can find the middle of his leg. So I can show you soon, but essentially what I'm getting at is that I just draw his legs. So like that size of a leg is proportionally too small for him. But that's how I draw it. And then I add the foot. You know, so it gives him a little extra height. but there's no like knee in this bit. You would have like a knee here, and then you'd have like the rest of his leg, and then his foot there. But I don't like the way it looks with that kind of proportional sizing. So instead, I just draw him from here, and if he needs to bend his legs, I'll bend the pants. Essentially. I'll bend his thigh or his kneecap or whatever. Not kneecap, calf? Yeah, calf. Shin. I'll bend his shins. Yeah. Yeah. So goofy. I love it. I need to draw his face at some point. I am just gonna forget otherwise. Sets his foot front on. Yeah, that looks about right. Front on. That looks about right. Yeah. Right? I don't know. Yes. A yes. Oh no, that's just gonna make it really hard to colour in, so I'm not doing that. It just looks so cute. So funny though too. Let's draw his face. Yeah, nice. Hey, yay. Just constantly just going, yay. Because I'm happy with my work. Cloak. Can't forget the cloak. And cannot forget Adatohu. Even though this is a tiny illustration. That no one will realistically be able to see Aratohu on the digital version, but hey, in like 5 years when the physical copy comes out, people will be able to see him and they'll love it. When I eventually finish volume 1. Oh man, you're gonna have to hold on to your butts for that one. You get to see all the times you've missed Aratohu because he's been too small to fit on the digital version. On the digital screen. I'm gonna need to get rid of... Oh, not the line work. Get rid of the draft. Just love it. It's just a page full of little ratchets. That's it. That's all this page is. Coming here expecting to see a big comic. Big fancy comic. Doesn't exist. This is all it is. It's just a little goblin on just various random parts of a page. I forgot to fill the color. There we go. Big mistake. And the other really dark things are that. Anything else? Oh boy, what happened to you warming up, Gray? Again, you gotta redeem the warm-ups. What is this talk of why haven't you done a warm-up yet? What do you mean? What do you mean? This is, yeah. Slightly more orange, slightly darker. There we go. Mean! Yeah, what do you mean? It's always been redeemed. I don't just do a warm-up. I'm not some lunatic who wants to be drawing for more than 3 hours. I just draw. Alright. And now we fill in the little spots. Did Frosty just say, "Hey, it's a mouse," and then dip as well? Just wanna get that clear as well. Did he just say, "Oh, it's a mouse," then leave? It's like seeing me on the street, and going like, "Hey, I know that guy," and then leaving, ignoring, like wandering off. Feel very insulted. Feel hurt. Cat in a hat. I can do that. He's streaming. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's fine then. That's an adequate excuse. I won't hold a grudge this time. Hold on, let me save. I've done a lot today. Cat in a hat. Okay. Specifically the Mike Myers version, right? I know you. I'm gonna have to... My brush size is tiny, and you'll understand in a moment when I show you the full, like, actual image. When I get around to it. By that example, or by that criteria, it'd be like he sees me busking on the streets, and then he goes, "Oh, look, it's Grey Mouse," and then leaves, and then goes and busks on the street as well. I'm gonna need to make this head smaller. Did I just hit Control Y? Jesus. Not Control T. Just make it normal. I see. I'm about to make it very not normal. Oh, cool. Me too, dude. Ghost Live. Yeah, exactly. It's his brand. His brand being just a real buckaroo kind of a guy. That's okay. Alright, now that makes sense. Sorry, I forgot what the Cat in the Hat looked like. Been living my sheltered existence for too long. Forgot what the Cat in the Hat looked like. Drew it a bit in my style, of course, but you know, you can't mess with not the OG, but the best version of the Cat in the Hat, that being the Mike Myers one. Not the Cat in the Hat, just a cat. You can choose the hat. Yeah, I am. I'm choosing a cat and I'm choosing a hat. I know what you wrote. I'm taking a bit of artist license here. You think I woke up this morning and learned how to draw? No, I've been drawing for a long time. Oh. And if I were to draw a cat, I'd probably draw my favorite cat. My absolute favorite cat of all time. I don't own a cat, audience, just so you know. So my absolute favorite cat of all time has to be a cat that I've met and gotten to know within my lifetime. Now you just relearn every morning. I feel like no amount of money would make me want to do that. That seems like a cursed existence. I love to draw, but relearning how to draw every single day, that is a cursed existence. That. But yeah, I definitely have a favorite cat, of course. My favorite cat, of course, being... Hold on. Not Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat. Because that's what fever dreams are made of. Bat cat? Bat cat? What? Bat cat? The Bat Cat. Batman's cat? No. Oh, no. 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 Also incorrect. Nana is not my favorite cat. Because I don't see Nana often enough. In my daily life. It has to be a cat that I'd see regularly to grow, you know, a bond with. A strong bond with. Tell you what, if I ever went to drawing cursed art, I'd be fucking good at it. Based on what I'm drawing right now, I think. I think I'd be very good at cursed art. I was also going to say, I'd probably be very good at furry art. But that I'm never doing. I'd rather do cursed art. Sorry. No. No, I have a favorite cat. His name is Jasper. It's my favorite cat. It's just such a polite... Only cat I know who doesn't try to eat my face or sniff my armpits. Isn't just a jerk. You know, it's just a very... Cursed art is just furry art in a different genre. I don't think so, because I don't think anyone's getting their rocks off to... I'm trying to think of something that, like, an appropriate thing to say. A Furby with a pickle Furby. I'm just going to use one of Nev's ones. I don't think people are getting their rocks off to that. But I'm not doing furry art. Don't even try to convince me next. It's not happening. Sorry guys, no amount of money will make me do it. Even if I am trying to buy a house within my lifetime. I just don't want to do it. That's it. No issues with the lifestyle. Just don't want to do it. I just like to annoy you. Yeah, I mean, that's abundantly clear. Let me just click on this picture. But yeah, just a really nice ginger cat. That's Jasper. He's a nice guy, he's chill. You know, he's chill. Got eyelashes for some freaking reason. Don't tell me that he doesn't. I'm looking at a reference, guys. I know what the cat in the hat looks like. Can see him. Just looks so strongly feminine as well, even though I've drawn the eyelashes. Like, I know, because I've drawn the eyelashes and the lips, and that makes it, like, it gives it a very strongly feminine kind of look. Like, Ness needs to stop drawing chins to be a fave. Yeah, probably. Ness is positively gliding at the screen right now. She's not happy. Well, continue to be not happy. Don't eat my face. Ness. You want to be my favorite, you gotta not eat my face. You gotta hang out with me and be a pretty chill, you know, cat. Like Jasper is. I was gonna actually draw a, like a picture or like a little mini comic where I'm just like, I don't have a favorite cat. Or I do have a favorite cat, and then it pans over to a little, like, nightstand which has a bunch of pictures of cats, and then there's just a big picture of Jasper. Also, because his name is Jasper. What a nice name. And Zag would be in a bin. Because he's the worst. I know a cat called Zag. He's the worst. Oh, ad coming up. Thank you for warning us, Punga. Oh. Thank you so much for the follow, Galley Sprout. I really appreciate it. That's very kind of you. Especially for the stuff that we're talking about. Jesus. Talking about my favorite cats and drawing the cat in the hat. But I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Welcome to my stream. I'm Grey Mouse Inc. I primarily work on a comic, but I do also do warm-ups and curse shit all the time. Not as a job, but just because I like to. Nice assets. Who made them? Guess. I did. I'm an artist. I do everything myself. Because I don't know when to quit at working at something. Oh shit, hold on. Ah shit, the curvature of his hat is confusing me. Confusing me and my tiny mouse brain. Damn it. Okay, that's fine. Can't lie, this is quite a face for quite a face for your time zone. I'm glad. I'm glad. What time zone are you in? Just out of curiosity. It's one hell of a face, I will admit. We didn't expect to see a Mike Myers inspired obnoxious. Oh, thanks, Nex. Uh, yes, look at this guy. Oh, that's the opacity. I'm trying to look closer. I'm trying to zoom in, and I'm just turning the opacity down. As for a cute cat, this is your creation. No, you're the only thing you said in the warm up comment was a cat in a hat. You did not specify. I'm like a genie. I will grant your wish, but it will be convoluted and shifted and twisted into whatever I want. And that just so happened to be. Gotta be specific. Yeah, exactly. The warm-up is a first in, best dressed kind of thing. It costs 1 point to redeem, 1 viewer point to redeem, but you gotta get in quick. And if you're not specific, then I can kind of do whatever I want. But yeah. So you asked for a cat in a hat. Who is the most famous cat in a hat? It's gotta be Mike Myers. It's gotta be Austin Powers, the love guru himself. And I'm adding extra shading too. Also, my stream tags do say cursed, so you were warned. EST time zone. In the States, it's 4:30 a.m. I should be sleeping. Fair enough. That's, yeah, I see. I do seem to get a lot of Americans and Canadians, so it's not surprising that you found yourself here. But yeah, you probably should be sleeping. But it's lovely that you are here, of course. I do appreciate you being here. And as Callie would say, are you an artist? Are you an artist as well? If so, what do you do? If not, what do you like to do? Oh, that's terrible shading. Sorry. Sorry, guys, it's not usually this bad. Just tell me a little bit about yourself. Let me get to know you. Look, cat too scary, going back to annoy your BFF. What, Arnie? Is Arnie streaming? Let him know I said hi. Love that Frosty guy. He's such a cool dude. There we go. It is just a warm-up. But I do like to kind of add stuff on. Oh shit, that's really detailed. You know what? He said Hig to Grew House, whatever that is. I'm not sure what that means. Let me get to know you. Zooms in on Cat's face. Yeah. Yeah. Let me get to know you. I want to learn about you. Don't look at the cat. Don't look at the cat. Don't worry about the cat. He's gone. Don't worry about the cat. Hi to Grey House. He stuttered. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Don't worry about the cat. The cat's not here. I've blocked him. I've protected you. I've protected you from the cat. The cat isn't here anymore. He can't see you past me, so I'm protecting you, guarding you. Tell me about yourself. Let me get to know you. The cat can't hurt you. The cat's not here. You can't see the cat. Wait, he's right behind me. He's right behind me, isn't he? He's right behind me, isn't he? Oh no. Don't know. I used to aspire to draw. There's always things I want to do. Clay, needle, felt. But I have no motivation due to your stinky brain. Oh, that's fair enough. You have very froggish eyes. Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to do with my character design was add like a little bit of uniqueness to it. I am Grey Mouse, but also I do I liked the idea of giving him froggish or goat-like eyes. I do also love frogs, so I thought I'd add a little bit of something there. Thank you so much, Next, for the hydrate. I have forgotten to do so. Welcome back, Galley Sprout. Just read that you had an ad. What was I saying? Yeah, I like frogs, so I added frog eyes for my little thing. And as you'll see down in front of me, in front of my drawing tablet, is a little guy called Punga. He's my assistant. He's currently taking a nap, but he'll pop in now and again to just warn people about ads, because I don't mind people just following along and just watching. It's totally okay. I do not need subs. I enjoy just having people around and having people to chat to. Yeah, he's a sweet little bean, that Punga. But yeah, I also like to warn people about the ads when they come up. Anyway, I actually do have a comic to be working on. So I'll move the Cat in the Hat. He's a little burrito. He is. He's all nice and tucked in, sleeping well, because he's a good little bean. Your beardies enjoy sleeping as burritos too. Ooh, do you have bearded dragons? Love a good little lizard. Yes. Well, I only ask because I used to have a bearded dragon, so I know the appeal. Yeah, they're too cute. You're lizard crazy. Hey, that's nice. Yeah, I love lizards as well. Loved lizards for a very long time. I had my lizard's name was Grips because he used to climb like crazy. I had him for about 7 years, and yeah, he was just amazing. They are such beautiful creatures. And fun. Just sprinting around. Really fast too, so if they got out, just gone. Just zipping about the house. Is it, out of like sheer curiosity, is it a central bearded dragon or a eastern bearded dragon? I think those were the different ones. That may just be Australia though. There may be other bearded dragons in other parts of the world. But if it's... So a central bearded dragon is like slightly more orange, and an eastern bearded dragon is grayer by comparison, I would say. Oh wait, you've got a few, so you might have a few of each. That was our turtles, but they got out. They would try and beeline for the pool. Well, yeah, of course. It's water. Turtles like water. I assume. Or they were just like super thirsty. I always wanted turtles, but I never got around to getting turtles, and I got a lizard, and then my parents were like, that's enough. That's enough animals for you right now. I used to get like hermit crabs and things like that. I had all sorts of pets for a very long time. I did want a snake, but again, my parents were like, nope, over our dead body. And then I was like, that's fair enough. Then I became Grey Mouse. So it's like, doesn't make sense to have a snake. I admit in the past my beardies were quite grey and brown. The two nerds I have right now are more yellow-orange to them, but shocking in colour or anything. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, that also kind of tracks, because what I was told about bearded dragons is that, for the most part, the bearded dragons that people keep now are kind of a mix between the two, so it kind of varies. I meant not shocking. Oh, not shocking or in color or anything. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, they usually aren't, but it's because, from what I've learned, that most pet bearded dragons are now a mix between Central and Eastern, so the color does really vary. Just the two beardies then. Like they aren't pure orange. That's fair. No, they won't be pure orange. They'll be like it'll depend on the weather, but they'll either be like a slight lemon yellow or a slight orangey kind of color. A couple of other lizards too. Ooh, what kind of lizards do you have? Out of curiosity, of course, because I do love lizards. I love a lot of animals, to be fair. Got any shinglebacks or blue tongues? Those are two very common Australian lizards, which I did recently. I mean, the blue tongues make sense that you can have them as pets, but I recently learned that you can have shinglebacks. Shinglebacks are like these beautiful, almost like studded, like lizards. They're beautiful little creatures, but also quite territorial, from what I've heard. Not dangerous, but territorial. I love chain link lizards. They look so fluffy, but like in reptile form. Chain link lizards. The hell are they? Never heard of chain link. Shinglebacks. Oh, yeah, shinglebacks, yeah. A plated lizard, blue tongue skink, leopard gecko, and two ocellated skinks. The gecko and the two skinks are quite small. The ocellated skinks are probably around 20 years old by now. Wow, that is fascinating. I used to live in Canberra, so the weather wasn't good for many lizards, but we used to get blue tongues fairly consistently. Um, but before I moved to Adelaide, I had been informed and shown pictures that there were geckos here. I've not seen a single gecko since I've moved here, and I'm very disappointed. What's an ocellated skink? I wish I could have a shingleback. I call them pine cones. They're so cute. Yeah, they look like pine cones. They're very cute. Um, my assumption is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, gall sprout, or galley sprout, but ocellated is like dotted. Goes to show, because Australians, we have the Australian naming convention for lizards and snakes, which is like if it's brown and spotted, it's a brown spotted snake or a brown spotted lizard. Chain link comes from the pattern reminding you of classic Aussie school fencing. That's fair too, yeah. Ocellated skinks are little smooth golden skinks, and yes, they have dots, look like little eye patterns sometimes. And they like to swim in sand. That is adorable. I love that. I love that a lot. Yeah, because like my thought that they were, dotted in gold. Well, I didn't say gold, but dotted was my assumption because ocellated ocelots have dots and a yellow or gold. But yeah, in Australia we have such a, it's got a blue tongue. It's a blue tongue lizard. It's a brown snake. It's called a brown snake. Oh, they look like tiny dudes I find in the garden. Yeah, skinks. I think New South Wales is quite prominent for skinks. My family have, at their place, they have skinks that live in the brickwork, like outside. So they'll like wander through the bricks, like the little slots in the bricks, which is very cute. I've heard funny stories that blue tongue skinks will sneak into people's houses and to eat dog food. Honestly, that wouldn't surprise me. You know what? If the food is good, fair enough. the food is good for a skink, then more power to them. I support them. I support skinks and their eating habits. Okay, I gotta do some foreshortening on this. It's gonna be probably terrible. But again, this is a tiny piece of this comic page, so I really shouldn't be worrying all that much. Blue tongue lizards eat like bugs and plants and fruits, so problems would happen. Yeah, oh yeah. Absolutely. They will eat anything that they can kind of get. I don't have big skunks skinks loose in your area, but there's giant toads that come around, and a lot of brown anoles. Yeah, I've never seen a toad. We have an issue with cane toads here in Australia, but I've not seen any myself. I've always kind of wanted to. I've seen frogs, but toad, not so much. Love you a toad, just got to keep him away from your cat. He likes licking them. Of course he does. Classic Carlo. He's stupid. He a dingus. What's that? Oh, that bit, yes. Confused. I've done a warm-up, so I've forgotten everything. Damn, that warm-up is more counterintuitive than good. It isn't. It's good. It is useful. But I've also been drawing all day, so my art is as good as it will be today, I think. There's only so warm you can be in terms of art. Sorry guys, I've just bumped the mic. My new mic too. Finally upgraded from my podcast mic. Moved on. Gone are the days where I do podcasts. Yeah, she's a cane toad. She might be hibernating for now. Haven't seen her in a bit. Don't be sad, Nex. Just don't got time for it. I just don't have time to do podcasts. Too busy with my other podcasts that I don't host. I actually haven't watched any films as well in a while. Like, genuinely, I've not watched anything. So I wouldn't even know what to talk about. I think the last film I saw in cinemas was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That was it. And I saw it for my birthday, essentially. Since then, not been to the cinema. I also don't really watch films at home anymore. Just can't be bothered. Could be working on a comic that's gonna take the rest of my life. You recently saw The Boy and the Heron? Yeah, I've heard some very good things about it. Is it good? What do you think, Nex? Do you think it good? Do you think it bad? Do you think it a classic Miyazaki film? That was the messiest shadow line I've ever drawn. What the hell am I doing? Just all over the place. 'Twas a little odd, definitely had some almost callbacks to plots of some of his other work. Oh, okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing. If you like his work, then that sounds like it's right up your alley. I don't know if you like his work, but if people do, then it'll be right up their alley. I like his work. And I'm going to go to Japan this year, so I'm hoping I can get to the Ghibli Museum. But we'll see. Underline was about learning to accept the end which was expected. Yeah. Daunting. A daunting task. For me, a mouse who gets existential or existentially dreads quite consistently, don't know how to feel about that. But I've gotten better at it too. Better at not suppressing the existential dread, but with feeling it, having it exist in my system. What am I doing next? Might add just a little bit more shadow here, and then we move on to details. For those of you who haven't been on the stream, this is going to be quite confusing for you to look at, I'm sure. I'm currently working on tiny little ratchets. And yes, it is for the comic, but the comic is not currently visible. It was a good one, but probably better on a second watch. That's fair. That sounds like a fair critique. Not critique, fair view, perspective. I'm very curious to see how the Oscars go this year. If they haven't already happened and I've just missed them. But I'm very curious to see how they go, because I think Across the Spider-Verse was a fantastic film. However, in my own mind, I do not think it deserves to win an Oscar. And not because it's not a good film, and not because it's a beautiful animation or anything like that, but because of the extent to which crunch and the the treatment of the animators, like the extreme treatment of the animators, was done to get this film out. So I don't mind it taking a while for the next one to come out, if it means that the animators aren't pushed to burnout to make the film. But I think one thing is that if they actually want to make genuine change, is that I don't think they should reward the movie. I don't think they should reward the movie because of the way that its staff and crew were treated on it. The only way to learn is to not revoke, deny reward for that kind of behavior. Sometimes success will hurt those actually making it, yes, but there's a difference between sacrifice for the art form and employee abuse. And for Spider-Verse, it was the latter. But then also it's become way too common as well, especially in animation fields, like in the fields of animation, where animators are being pushed to crunch for unrealistic deadlines for their animations or for their animated series. Currently it's happening in pretty much every form of media, every form of animated media that you can find, so movies, TV shows, everything. Japanese animation is chronic for it, yeah, but it's also not the only perpetrator. It's becoming far too normalized, even in Western media, so Tales of Vox Machina has a big issue with animated crunch, as I have learned quite recently through an animator who is working on Tales of Vox Machina. So yeah, it's not exclusive to Japanese animation, but it is being more readily normalized in Western animation. And like yeah, definitely Jujutsu Kaisen is or Mappa Studios just in general is a big perpetrator of it currently, but it's also they're just the most vocal currently as well, to be fair. There are plenty of other studios. Disney is also rife for it. Um, but because Disney has such a big pedigree behind it, um, where as an animator, as a young animator growing up, you would hear, it's like the big dream is to work for Disney. Disney is the end goal for all animators in the Western world and things like that. And you would hear that if you were learning to become an animator, like a classic style animator. And it's not even the first time they've done stuff like this, where Disney, when they moved to 3D animation and stuff like that, a whole generation of animators who were learning 2D hand-drawn animation and had become professionals in it were now denied the reward for all their hard work because Disney had moved on. And it's horrifying. People need, like, these avenues or these fields need to be treated better, because in a growing age where we actually should be developing with our technology, we are stepping back, using AI as a threat, using AI to threaten people, threaten these workers, with replacement, as opposed to, now opening up that field to be more acceptable or more accepting, and open. Because we should be, like, we really should be, like, encouraging moves to creative fields or pursuing the things that you love if our technology is starting to advance, where the jobs that no one wants to do are now able to be done by robots and AI. Why are we not encouraging people to get to do what they want to do, as opposed to what they have to do to keep the world turning? It's very annoying. I actually don't know what other. Speaking on the Oscars, jumping back to that, I actually have no idea what's like lined up to win. Gonna wander away, start getting ready for bed. Thanks for the chats. No problem, Nex. I'm probably gonna end stream fairly soon anyway as well, so don't even worry about it. Thank you so much for popping in and chatting. It's always lovely to hear from you. Let's put some shine on these bits, and then we'll gauge what's left to do. I think that's pretty much it for this one, for this ratchet. It's just a little ratchet standing out in the middle of nowhere, in just darkness. Not darkness, the opposite of that. White, light. Because we're doing this. Cool, I need to move him. He needs to be moved, this little guy. Because my goal is to get all of them to use the tops of the panels as ground, essentially. So just a little dynamic way of showing Ratchet traveling and moving. And I absolutely adore it. It's so cute. I've talked this to death in this one stream already, but holy shit, it's just so cute, these tiny little ratchets. Just... Oh. I love it. I love it so much. It's just so... They're also just so funny. They're just these little full body illustrations of Ratchet, and they just look so cute. This one shouldn't take too long. It's just Ratchet from behind. He's got a helmet. He's got a flight helmet, so actually I don't need to draw too much there. Too much at the back of his head. It's got a little bit of detail. Oof. That one seems off. There we go. Talking about animation, I was also just like all this talk of animation, and then I just remembered just thinking maybe I was too hard on the later seasons of Castlevania. I mean, I'm not going to deny that I was still right about the problems that it has, but it's not like a cardinal sin anymore to me now. It used to be. I used to be very angry about it. I used to be super angry about what happened season 3 and 4. Now I'm a bit tired of it. I'm old and over it, I guess. But anytime I talk about animation, I talk about that. I'm just like, you know, like amazing animation can be ruined by a meh story. Just like The House, which is like, and stop motion animation, which I care for hugely, where you have stop motion animation, and if you have a pretty boring story attached to stop motion animation, that shits me. That really annoys me, because it's like these people took, 6 months to animate 3 minutes or 4 minutes worth of your idea, and your story is this, and it is bad, and it is boring, and that's The House. The House is terrible. And it is a supreme waste of stop motion animation, because my stern belief is that if you cannot make a film work, with actors and live action, then you absolutely cannot make it work in stop motion. And when I say that, I mean with the idea that, like, if it's an outlandish idea, then sure, stop motion is the way to go. And budgetary wise and stuff like that, yada yada yada, you get what I'm saying. But if the story doesn't work for a normal, like, show or movie, then putting it in stop motion isn't going to make it Oscar worthy. Worse still, if it's bad, then people are just going to be angrier at you. Or if it's bad, I'm just going to be angrier at you. Because The House is just like, what was this? It started off fine. It's like, oh, it's a bit ambiguous. And then it got to the animal ones, and then I was just like, what the fuck is going on? This isn't a horror story. An anthology that's somewhat linked, but then also not. They just use the same set. It's like, That's not cool. But I'm also that, like, I'm harsh on, like, Love, Death and Robots as well. Because I think that if a short film can't stand on its own, like, if it's not self-contained, like, perfectly self-contained, and it leaves too many, like, world questions at the end, then it didn't do its job. A short film, though, significantly smaller than a feature-length film, should still stand on its own. If you have to explain stuff after the fact, then hey, you've not done your job. The fact that Love, Death and Robots is an anthology series, which is just a TV show where each of its episodes are standalone episodes, and that cut corners because it's shorter, in quotation marks, it's a shorter format, doesn't do justice to the format. It's just a cheap way to get people to watch your stuff. Bothers me. That stuff bothers me. As you can tell, I'm really passionate about animation, even though I can't do animation. Well, I do a bit of animation, but not proper animation. Guess you could probably say I'm passionate about writing, film writing and stuff. And then pretty much the same but backwards. Is that the same leg? No, because he's spinning. I mean, it is the same leg, but also it makes sense because he's spinning. Perfect. Bring it just slightly closer. And there we go. But I'm probably not going to fill in the color today. I'm probably going to raid out in a moment. Just so that I can... So that I got stuff to do next time. Shouldn't take too long to do this one and then the next one. This doesn't feel proportionally right. And I don't mean just the boot, I mean just the whole leg. Yeah, it's too like 90 degrees. Just take it all and then rotate it. Definitely gonna need to move the foot. I mean, I see bits of the problem. Seeing pieces and parts of the problem building in front of me. So this part's just a bit too bulbous. Also his leg's too far away. So I might just grab it and move it in. to about there. Yeah. Asking out into the ether as if someone's gonna be like, yeah, that seems proportionally right. I don't think any of us know for certain, because Ratchet's proportions are kind of unique, kind of weird. That'll do. I will fix it if I need to next time. But let's put the finished work over it, and we will. I mean, I'll move him up first as well so that I can get back to it. Do it about there. Yeah, cool. Sweet. Export as a JPEG. Chapter 3. Chapter 3, Volume 1. No, yeah, Chapter 3, Volume 1, Page 1. Those are the words I'm looking for. Okay. Let's get raiding. Oh. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. First, let's check who to raid. It's a pretty quiet night from what I see. We've got Lynn. We got Lynn, we got Simon. We got Mr. Mao. And we got Rat Banshee. It's a tough call. It's a very tough call. I am thinking we'll go to Lynn. It's been a while since we've seen her. Oh shit, she's got pink hair. That's new. It's not that big of a surprise, but cool. Alright, let's jump to her. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. It's been really good. We've made some really nice progress, but I will be back tomorrow, so I will see you all then. Take care. Take care too, Galley Sprat. So lovely to meet you. But until I see you next time, bye.